I never expected a genie to bring such chaos into my life. The doorbell rang. I got up, expecting the delivery driver who had called me earlier, asking for directions to my house. It was tucked away in a nearly abandoned part of town, so his confusion wasn't surprising. But when I opened the door, it wasn't the driver. Instead, a man in his 40s stood there, whistling softly, his foot tapping against the porch floor. At first glance, there was nothing remarkable about him, his plain clothes, average height, unassuming demeanor. Yet, the longer I looked at him, the stranger he seemed. His face, though perfectly normal, was utterly forgettable. The moment I tried to picture it in my mind, it slipped away like a dream upon waking. He was invisible, in the way background characters in a crowd are invisible. "Can I help you?" I asked, puzzled. He didn't respond immediately. Instead, he studied me with calm detachment. Then, without hesitation or the slightest change in expression, he said, "I'm here to kill you." It took me a full 5 seconds to process what I just heard. My thoughts raced. Was this a joke? A mistake? Should I laugh, call the police, slam the door, or just run? But the man didn't move, nor did his unnervingly calm expression falter. Instead, he added, "I can explain the details if you want." I stared at him, trying to make sense of the situation. "I hope this is a joke," I said, half laughing, my voice betraying a mix of annoyance and disbelief. "No joke," he said flatly. "I really do want to kill you, but—" He hesitated, mumbling something I couldn't catch. Then he met my eyes again. "Can we sit and talk?" Every instinct screamed at me to shut the door in his face. But something, curiosity, stupidity, made me hesitate. I had only recently moved into this house, a cheap purchase from an elderly couple who had owned it for generations. There wasn't much of value inside, and I figured if he tried anything, I could handle myself. I was fit, and the man seemed unarmed. Still, I wasn't stupid. I kept my phone nearby and slipped a knife up my sleeve before inviting him in. We sat in the living room, the air thick with tension. I kept my eyes on him, my muscles taut, ready to spring into action if needed. He didn't seem in a hurry, though. For a while, he just sat there, staring at the floor, as if lost in thought. Finally, I broke the silence. "So, what's going on?" He looked up, adjusting his posture like he was about to deliver a lecture. "I'm a genie," he said simply. I couldn't help but snort. "A genie, huh? So how does this work? Do I get 3 wishes? He didn't react to my sarcasm. Instead, he leaned forward slightly and said, "Let me explain. Maybe it'll make sense." He paused as though deciding where to begin. Then he continued. "Genies aren't what you think. We're not magical blue blobs granting impossible wishes. We're beings who can communicate with our past selves." He glanced at me, gauging my reaction, but I just raised an eyebrow. He stood abruptly, pacing the room. Then, as if making a decision, he snapped his fingers. Everything shifted. I was still in the same room, sitting opposite him, but I wasn't the same. My memories flooded with new details. I wasn't an orphan anymore. I had a family, a sister. Wait, did I have a sister before? My mind reeled. One thing was clear. He wasn't lying. He was a genie. My father had told me about them, hadn't he? No, my grandfather. He'd spent years studying their kind. Genies weren't omnipotent beings. They were terrifyingly practical manipulators of time and causality. My understanding crystallized. Genies couldn't see the future, only the past and present. The future was mutable, constantly shifting. Their power lay in reshaping the past to make the present what it needed to be. Almost like magic. "It's not magic," he said. "It's complicated. Basically, it's science. We exist within the laws of nature, but we follow rules that prevent paradoxes. One of those rules is granting wishes." "Wishes?" I echoed skeptically. He nodded. "If someone asks for money, we don't conjure it out of thin air. We manipulate events in the past to ensure their ancestors make the right choices, meet the right people, take the right opportunities. If someone wants a lost limb back, we prevent the accident from happening in the first place." I leaned back, crossing my arms. "And this has what to do with you killing me?" He sighed, his calm demeanor flickering for the first time. "Someone wished for your death. But here's the problem. When I try to fulfill it, something goes wrong. My future self stops contacting me. It's like I cease to exist." For the first time, I felt a prickle of fear. "And if you don't kill me? Then everything is fine," he said. "My future self keeps guiding me, but I don't understand why killing you would change that." He studied me, his gaze sharp. "What's so special about you?" "I have no idea," I said, genuinely baffled. We stayed quiet for a few minutes. "So," I said, "what should I do? How can I help you?" He stopped pacing and turned to me. "You can't. I just wanted to have a conversation." And then, he didn't answer. Instead, he muttered, "Whatever," and snapped his fingers again. The door banged open, and 2 masked men stormed in, guns drawn. My breath caught as they barked orders, forcing me to the ground. My knife slipped from my sleeve and clattered to the floor. One of them noticed and kicked me hard in the stomach, sending me sprawling. "Stay down," he snarled, leveling his gun at me. Then, bang! For a split second, pain ripped through me. And then, nothing. I opened my eyes. The morning sun streamed through the window. It was quiet, peaceful. I felt oddly refreshed. I couldn't shake the feeling that I'd forgotten something important. Probably not. Today was the day I was visiting the cemetery to pay respects to my parents.